seminarians are also off limits, so yeah. Okay. I should not compare you to a steak, but for heaven's sakes, I'm craving both. To be a vegetarian, blessing or curse? And being in love with a seminarian, even worse? Oh, worst curse of my life. So tie me to a stake and burn me alive. I'm not suggesting that without you I prefer to die, but sometimes I get cold at night and would not mind a little fire to tide me over. And sometimes, let's admit, I get tired of seeing peas with carrots. You'd be proud. Last night I met someone who told me my words were wabi-sabi. And for a little bit I let you slip between the fissures of my brain, but found myself hunting you down in those canyons after he mentioned a girlfriend. Unhealthy to dwell on the acids in my stomach or the pity in my chest, I try and try and try to get by without meat or you, dear. Most of the time, I get enough protein, but there are days when neither food nor forgetting comes easy.
Hello, my name is Kim. I'm in Newslet, and this poem, I'm trying to capture a sort of mood that's hard to describe otherwise, so bear with me. The girl is familiar with a certain kind of sadness, like nostalgia for a place she has never been. She is not quite of this world. After the sudden pastel grief in the shower, she decides there is an island. She dreamed it as a child. It told her, "Monira, you cannot come back here yet." Her name is not Monira, but still. The island is missing her. This is some kind of test. She is surviving life until she can go back and live unthinking, put each action down cleanly, with no reflection or foresight other than that required to make it so. She wonders if she is a paranoid schizophrenic. Her roommate talks about dissociative episodes, and she wonders how everyone is hanging on to this world so tenuously, like the fur on a very old teddy bear, and thinks how a brush from a rough hand would fling both of them off in a spray of fibers. What makes this reality if neither of them thinks it is? What makes reality real other than everyone agreeing it is so? There is nothing to hold this house together, not the two of them in their bedrooms, the roommate floating above her body like a ghost, staring at herself, staring at her hands, the other sinking through layers of her mind like she is swimming in a pile of blankets. The two of them lost there, in and outside of themselves. What is keeping this house from collapsing to nothing? What from fading into a scrubby foundation? What stops the upstairs neighbors from ratcheting one story downwards and erasing them altogether? This house is not a house. She has been in a house. This is a place where unreal things gather, and there is no one even on the right plane to see them. Crumbs and small pieces of paper on the floor, jackets and shoes draped empty over the furniture, metallic and silken and unfamiliar plaid. The girl knows that she has to come back. But she feels herself in this grief, feels it running deepest in her, like a homeland. The older she gets, the more she is too far from where she started, the more her tail is growing too long. She is losing herself in administrative tasks and sending emails. She is losing herself in keeping 6 projects all aligned in her head at once. There is something about trees that she has to remember. The feeling of talking to trees. And before that, words that come to her full-grown from God. She wonders if she should plummet this and be a powerhouse or a siphon, be a funnel of untethered nostalgia, wonders what really counts as desertion. Then there are the times her roommate comes in from the kitchen and says, "I'm making couscous, are you hungry?" And she says, "Yes, I am." Thanks.
Okay, great, thank you. Spend your time looking at the art, take some free food, and then we also just wanted to say that there's an exhibit called Breath, held by, they're showing a professional photographer's work on North Korea, upstairs in the formal lounge at 6:30. Hey.